When my daughter Emily started calling me every morning at exactly 9 a.m., I thought it was a miracle. For years, she barely had time for me. She was always busy with work, tired from life, overwhelmed by responsibilities. Sometimes weeks passed without a single call. So when my phone suddenly began ringing every single day, I smiled like a fool. Good morning, Mom. Did you sleep well? Did you take your vitamins? Do you need anything from the store? At 73 years old, you start appreciating small kindnesses more than big promises. I told myself, maybe she finally realized I won't be here forever. I didn't know yet that this wasn't love. It was preparation. 2 weeks later, Emily started showing up at my house without warning. She cleaned my kitchen without asking. She threw away my old magazines. She rearranged my medicine cabinet. At first, I felt touched. Then, I started feeling like a guest in my own home. Mom, she said one afternoon, forcing a sweet smile, why do you still drive? It's dangerous at your age. I laughed. I've been driving for 50 years without a single accident. She didn't laugh back. Her eyes lingered on my car keys longer than they should have. 3 days later, she brought soup I hadn't asked for. She placed it on the table and sighed dramatically. You look tired, Mom. Your hands are shaking. They weren't. You know, living alone at your age isn't safe anymore. My stomach tightened. I suddenly remembered how my late husband used to sigh like that right before bad news. The next morning, there was a knock on my door. A young woman stood outside holding a clipboard. Good morning, Mrs. Carter. I'm from Senior Care Services. We received a report about your well-being. My blood ran cold. Before I could answer, Emily stepped into view behind her. Mom, I was just worried about you. It's for your own good. For my own good. The same words my husband used before emptying our savings account 20 years ago. They walked into my living room without waiting for permission. The social worker asked soft questions. Do you remember today's date? Do you manage your own finances? Do you feel confused often? Emily kept interrupting. She forgets things. She gets angry easily. She almost burned the kitchen last week. None of it was true. Then Emily dropped the real bomb. Mom, I found a wonderful nursing home. It's very safe, very peaceful. You'll be happier there. My hands started shaking for real this time. And my house? I asked quietly. She avoided my eyes. Well, we could rent it out. Use the money for your care. I understood everything in that moment. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat on my bed, staring at my wedding photo. My husband worked 2 jobs to buy this house. I raised Emily here alone. Every corner held memories. And now she wanted to throw me into a nursing home like unwanted furniture. I whispered into the dark, I'm not dying. Why is she acting like I already am? The next day, I did something Emily never expected. I called a lawyer. Mr. Harris listened in silence while I told him everything. Then he said calmly, Mrs. Carter, what your daughter is doing is called elder financial exploitation. My heart broke again, but this time from clarity. I installed cameras in my house. I started recording every phone call, every conversation, every time Emily mentioned my money. I wrote everything down in a notebook. Dates, times, exact words. 2 weeks later, she brought another visitor, a man in a gray suit. Mrs. Carter, he smiled. I'm a family law attorney. Your daughter is concerned about your mental health. My daughter had hired a lawyer against me. Emily cried on cue. Mom, please, we just want what's best for you. The lawyer slid papers across my table. A power of attorney. Just sign here and Emily can help manage your finances. I picked up the pen. Then I put it down. No. 2 days later, I received a court notice. Emily had filed a petition declaring me mentally incompetent. She wanted legal control of my pension, my house, and my savings. I sat on my couch holding the letter. My own daughter was trying to erase me while I was still alive. In court, she played the perfect daughter. She forgets things. She's paranoid. She installed cameras everywhere. She isolates herself. Then my lawyer stood up and played the recordings. Emily's voice filled the courtroom. So, if we sell the house, I can finally pay off my credit cards. Once I control your accounts, everything will be easier for me. You don't really need all that money anyway, Mom. The judge's face hardened. My doctor testified next. She is fully competent. Her memory and reasoning are above average for her age. Then I stood up. I raised my daughter alone. I sacrificed everything for her. And now she wants to bury me alive to take my money. The courtroom was silent. The judge